Five, four, three, two. What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, July 31st, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here, but proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's coming on with me today. She is a videographer in the industry, and she is someone that has been in the industry for a couple years now, but she is a graduate of University of Missouri. I'm talking about Rilee Malloy, and we're going to talk to her again about her why and ask her some get to know you questions. Rilee, welcome to the podcast. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing super well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's wonderful to see your face. You look absolutely lovely today. I just want to say that.
Thank you. Thank you. Just got off work, so hey.
Okay. All right. I love it. On the grind. And I appreciate you
Mhm.
coming on to the podcast after work too. That's what's up, girl.
Yeah.
I want to start off by asking this first question to you, and that
Mhm.
is the same question I ask everybody, and that is what
Mhm.
is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any kind of
Mhm.
inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, why did you select a career in journalism?
Yeah, I think I love that question because I never really saw it as like selecting a career. It was just kind of like videography, video cameras, and everything like that was just always something that I did. And then I kind of stumbled my way into being able to do it as a career. So it's always so funny because people ask me, they're like, "What are your hobbies outside of work?" And I'm like, "So my work is my hobby. So I'm trying to find more actual hobbies outside of that." But basically, I think I vividly remember when I was 9, I went to see the first Avengers movie with my family,
Okay.
and my family was getting so mad at me because I would not shut up in the movie because I kept asking like how'd they do that, how'd they do that, how'd they do that, how'd they do that, and then shortly after that, my parents got me my first video camera for my birthday, and
Wow.
then I don't know, I just kind of started like making like little YouTube videos, editing on my own. My best friend growing up, her name is Maya. We would make like video stars and like music videos and like iMovie trailers and stuff together.
Sure.
Um, she unfortunately passed away from complications with leukemia treatment when
Oh,
we were freshmen in high school, so 2017. Um, so that's also kind of a big motivator for me and like why I do what I do is because like we always talked one day about like doing this for a living, and she doesn't get to do that, but I fortunately do. Um, yeah, and then in high school, my I grew up in Cincinnati and or a suburb 30 minutes north of Cincinnati,
okay.
um, and we had a good like integrated media journalism program there, and I got involved with that, and then ended up going to Mizzou. Um, got started as a creative video intern for the athletic department like right away. I sent an email right after my orientation, and then my would soon become my boss responded and was like, "Yeah, come to this meeting." And I walked in, and I think I was the only freshman, and I was one of like 3 or 4 girls there, I think. And then from there, it was just I hit the ground running with that. I worked really closely with the women's basketball team, did a lot with football,
Hmm.
everything like that. And I think like one thing that I love about it just like what I do is like I just love telling people stories. I love talking to people. I love learning more about them, and like I was
Absolutely.
blessed. I was blessed to be able to have the ability to do what I do, and I love being able to use that ability to share other people's stories. So,
I love that why. That's amazing.
mhm.
And obviously my condolences about your friend Maya, if you don't mind, that I'll say to you. Wow, that's a great start to this conversation though.
Mhm.
Amazing. No question about that. You did go to the University of Missouri, which is the
Yes,
NBC affiliate. Uh,
yes.
Definitely a great journalism school.
Hmm.
Told me, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to the University of Missouri?
Okay, Mizzou was actually the last school that I applied to.
Wow.
Um, I thought that I wanted to go to this one college like my entire life. Um, then my older brother went there, and he like it's still a great school, but he didn't enjoy it like as much as he thought that he would, and as much as me and him hate to admit, we're very similar. So I kind of started to gather that maybe I wouldn't enjoy it, same
Sure.
reasons he didn't.
Right.
Um, and so I kind of had a little crisis because like I had applied to a couple of schools. I was looking south. I wanted to go out of state, but like I wasn't sure. And then I was talking to my high school journalism advisor, and he was like, "So you don't care how far you go?" I was like, "Not really, no." And
Right.
he was like, "You should look at Mizzou," and I was like, "Okay." And at the time, I was a lifeguard at like this neighborhood pool that no one came to during the week, and I was working after school that day, so I was like doing my homework, and I was like, okay, like I'll apply to a Mizzou. I applied. Mizzou does rolling admission,
Ooh.
and
Okay.
so I found out a week later that I had been accepted, and my parents were like, apply and get in, then we'll go tour because we're not going to take you to go tour and fall in love with fall in love with a school that you might not get into. So I got accepted. We scheduled my tour. I don't know if you've heard anything about Mizzou Homecoming. But it's a very big deal, and I knew nothing about it and accidentally scheduled my tour on homecoming weekend,
Oh
and
wow.
then
Okay.
ended up putting my deposit down the next day. So
Oh. So
I
it was
fell
that lit. It was that lit up there in
yeah,
Mizzou.
yeah, it was awesome. I fell in love like the moment that I set foot on campus, and like best decision I ever made was to go to Mizzou. Um,
Okay. Okay.
my I wanted to put my deposit down after my tour, but my mom made me sleep on it. And I woke up the next day. I woke her up the next day with the like application portal open and the credit card ready to put the deposit down. So,
Okay. All right,
mhm.
Riley. I ain't mad at you now. Do your thing. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I want to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me
Hmm.
the 411 off the rip based upon these
Okay.
favorite questions that I'm gonna ask you. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
I like to cook. I'm not a
Yes.
very good cook. I've been really into ground beef and Parmesan cheese with noodles.
Okay. Ground beef,
Yeah.
Parmesan cheese, and so pretty much a ghetto hamburger helper is what you saying.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you on that. That's
Probably.
what's up. That's what's
Hmm.
up. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm a huge taco person. I love
Yeah.
turkey ground beef. So either turkey ground
Okay.
beef, chicken, steak, either or. I love that. So yeah,
Yeah.
tacos are my thing for sure. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, I um okay, can I have two?
Sure, go ahead.
I saw Taylor Swift Reputation tour in Columbus,
Okay.
classic. And then last summer, I saw Megan Maroney, Uncle Kracker, Zach Brown Band, and Kenny Chesney in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City in the pit.
Okay. Yeah, that I knew all those people except Megan Maroney. I did not know
Yeah.
Megan Maroney, but I knew all those people. So you are a Swiftie, is what you say.
Yes, I am.
Wow. Okay. God bless your
Mhm.
heart. That's all I can say to you for sure. I know them era tickets was just absolutely insane. I don't know
Oh
if you got a
yeah,
chance to go see that.
I did not have a chance. I saw it um, outside the stadium. My mom found a rooftop right across the street from Paycor Stadium where you could see one of the screens. So
Okay.
we went on that rooftop and saw the concert that way.
Okay. Shout out to Riley's mom for being
Hmm.
resourceful. I like that. That's
Yeah.
what's up. I like that.
Hmm.
Um, my favorite concert was probably The Weeknd. I don't know if
Okay.
you,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've heard
Weeknd is
that one's
definitely a
good.
vibe. He's definitely a great vibe, no doubt.
Hmm.
One of my favorites. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
I went to Rome in January, and I got to go to the Vatican City and get and see Pope Francis before he died. and we
Wow.
saw the Coliseum and um, just like yeah, it was a 2 week study abroad trip that Mizzou does. It's like a winter intersession. Um, it was like 17 days. We went to 4 different cities. We had like 4-ish days in every city, and like a day and a half to 2 days was spent like touring different journalism agencies over there, PR agencies over there, taking like classes and stuff, and then a day and a half to 2 days we had free in the city to kind of explore. So we went to Prague, Brussels, Barcelona, and Rome. And Rome was definitely my favorite.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to ask you about that because that's on my bucket list for sure for
Mm-hmm.
places to go.
Yeah.
Jamaica is my favorite place.
Okay, I've
Uh,
never been to Jamaica, but
Definitely hit me up. If you ever want to go, I could give you some
hmm
tips. Great food, great vibe, beaches. People was absolutely awesome as well. Went there on a cruise last October, so it was really, really nice. So yeah, I
oh,
loved it for sure.
that's awesome.
Hmm I'm a sports person, so I got to ask you this sports question. It's a favorite sports question, but it's a two-part. Favorite
Okay.
sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Favorite sport I like to attend in person? Baseball.
Okay.
I think the vibe, the atmosphere, it's fun. I love a good ballpark hot dog. Um, Favorite sport on TV? Hmm. Probably have to be basic and say football.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, are you a Chiefs fan and a Royals fan, or you a Bengals fan and a Reds fan?
Bengals and Reds.
Okay, got you,
Mhm.
got you. Yes, Edie Cruz is one of my Edie De La Cruz or De La Cruz, I should say, is one of my
Yes.
favorite players.
Yeah,
No
he's
question about
awesome.
that. And then obviously the Bengals, uh, Jamar Chase, I love him to death. He killed it on my
Mhm.
fantasy team last year.
Oh
There's
yeah,
no
he's
question about
awesome.
that. So he was amazing.
Hmm
I would say football on TV, for sure, because stadiums are
hmm
just too big. If you don't
Yeah.
have great seats or if you're not covering the game, they look like mini me's down there.
hmm
And typically, when you go to football games, people, I'm paying for the cheap seats.
hmm
I'm not really paying like stupid amount of money. And then
Yeah.
basketball is in person that I love to see
hmm
because it's indoors. It's much cheaper and the
Yeah.
arenas is much smaller. So that's why I like basketball. But
Yeah.
the least expensive sport is baseball. You can do a
Yeah.
five dollar seat and walk your way down
hmm
to the good seats for sure. So
Yeah.
okay, I'm with you on that. Last of the favorites, and you can
Okay.
do both places if you like. Um, Favorite place that you like to go out and eat at? Because I've been to Cincinnati before,
Have you had
but
Skyline?
I've heard of that, but
Okay.
I have not been there. No.
hmm Okay. Um, Favorite place to eat in Cincinnati? Okay. There's this pizza place
Oh,
out of
okay.
Dayton, Ohio, called Flying Pizza. My dad went to the University of Dayton, so
Yep.
and it's like it's north, so it's just a little bit further from like the suburb I grew up in from as Cincinnati is. Um, so we would go up there a lot, and so Flying Pizza, favorite place to eat. Or there's this Mexican restaurant at home, El Caporal. Um, that's probably my favorite place to eat. And um, two favorite places to eat in Cincinnati. Kansas City, I don't know. I don't think I've been here long enough to have a favorite. I think I'm trying to think of places that I have been to eat.
Right, right.
Um,
Barbecue? Have you tried any barbecue places?
oh, Joe's Barbecue is good.
Okay,
Joe's
okay.
Barbecue is good.
Got you. Because Kansas
hmm
City is known for their barbecue. I know that for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. I
hmm
like that. Let's talk about your day to day. As you
Okay.
know, being in journalism,
hmm
uh, 2 days are never the same.
Yeah.
Being a videographer, I'm sure you're shooting something different every single day,
Hmm.
editing, doing that on a daily basis, probably working with different reporters every
Hmm.
day, and doing different things, which also makes the job very exciting because as a
Yeah.
journalist, I totally understand that. We're covering different sports, different games, writing different articles.
Hmm.
Talk to me about your day-to-day process of being a videographer, being someone that, what time do you normally start? What time do you normally
Hmm.
end? And how many stories do you shoot a day or have to edit a day and stuff like that?
Usually one story a day.
Mm,
It kind of depends unless there's like breaking news or something like that. I start my day around 10. Um, that's like when my station we have a meeting and then we kind of figure out what we're gonna do for the day, and then they pair up reporters and videographers, and then we just kind of go out. And then from there, like we get assigned what show we're in. So we have we're typically worrying about the 4 and the 4:30, 5 and 6 o'clock shows.
sure.
Um, and then we get like our assignment, so we can be like um, live in the 4 and the 6, live in the 5 and the 6, live in the 4 and the 5. And then from there, we basically have until like 10 minutes before the hit to like get everything in, and then we go live. And then after we're live on our 2 shows, we go back to the station and then go home and then kind of shut my brain off and don't think about anything until I go back the next day at 10. So it's it's interesting. I like how there's consistency, but everything is different because you're working on something different literally every single day. And like today, I was working on one thing, and then there was breaking news, and we got pulled to the breaking news. So like we put a pause in the one story that we were working on to go cover the breaking news.
Right, right. Okay.
Mhm.
I like that time frame though. Do you like the time frame of 10 to like maybe 6 or 7?
Yeah, I usually get home around like I'd say 6:45, 7,
Hmm.
depending on like when I get off when I get back. Um, and they're good about like if you're somewhere 45 minutes away, you're not
Right,
gonna be live in the 6 o'clock show unless it's like some extreme breaking news that like requires you to be live in the 6 o'clock show. So
right.
yeah, I usually get home. I have like a 17-minute commute to work, um,
It's not
which I don't
bad.
mind. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then um, yeah, I get home about 7. I enjoy it. I like having my mornings. I like waking up early and like getting to do things before I go into work, and then just coming home and chilling for the remainder of the evening, going to bed, everything like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that schedule for you. And the reason
Mhm.
why I asked that question is because a lot of times, different journalists and different people in communications have really awkward type of schedules. Like we
Mhm.
don't have the normal business hour type
Yeah.
schedules. Like there's people that
Mhm.
have to wake up sometimes at 2:30 in the morning and be there
Yeah.
early, or there's people that have to
Mhm.
go in late, like at midnight.
Yeah.
And to have that 10 to 6 schedule that you have is really,
Mhm.
really sweet. And
Mhm.
that's pretty cool for the most part. But it also brings another question that I want to ask, and that's
Mhm.
about mental health and work-life balance.
Mhm.
Mental health has affected a lot of people in this industry.
Mhm.
A lot of people have left this industry because of mental health.
Mhm.
A lot of people have left this industry because of work-life balance.
Mhm.
You hear words like burnout, overworked, underpaid. That's
Mhm.
kind of synonymous in this journalism industry. Talk
Mhm.
to me about how you keep your mental health, keep your mental health in control, kind of control your mental health, but also have that work-life balance as
Mhm.
well. Because you seem like a wonderful woman to be around and hang out with, but you
Mhm.
also seem very passionate about journalism. So talk to me about
Mhm.
you how you keep the balance between both of those.
Um, well, I um as a I will answer this in kind of a story of like a personal experience that I had. I
Okay.
thought I wanted to work in sports. I thought that like that was what I wanted to do. That was my end all be all. Like I am going to do creative content for a sports team, an athletic department, something like that. So I did my internship with the athletic department for 3.5 years.
Okay.
Um, Started freshman year. There was a lot of like when I first started, there was a lot of like there was a tweet that went viral about how that specific working environment was toxic and everything like that. And I had a really good boss who protected me from that,
Okay.
but she herself was not protected from that. Um, but she did a really good job of like shielding me from it, like in my first year and kind of focusing on my growth and doing like a great job with that. And then she, at the end of my freshman year, she ended up leaving and going to work. She started out in broadcast, did creative athletics, went back kind of to the broadcast industry. So I got
Okay.
passed to another boss. And then it was kind of like just cycling through everything like that as they kind of tried to like repair and build up the staff because like you're never like there's never going to be enough people to do everything that you want to do, especially when like creative people start thinking, because if you give like a creative person the ability to think what do you want to do, they'll you can have the world. Do you have the bodies to execute that? Not necessarily.
Right.
um so sophomore year, I experienced a lot of burnout. There wasn't a full-time staff member there, and I was the intern that had been there the longest. So a
Hmm.
lot of the full-time staff members' responsibilities kind of like trickled down into me. And I was
Mm.
19 and like taking pre-journalism classes and like working and like traveling and like in all of these big meetings that like I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to be in.
Right.
But like if you looked at it, it was like a 19-year-old should not be in these meetings. And then eventually they hired and like rebuilt up the staff, and like staff is great. But I was incredibly burnt out. Like I was working like 60 hours a week as a sophomore in college
That's
on
a
top of my
lot,
classes.
girl. That's a lot.
Yeah, on top of my classes, on top of like I was in a sorority as well, like on top of that. Um, so I was like super burnt out, but like I knew I still wanted to do something with it, so I didn't want to like stop doing it entirely. And like when the
Right.
staff came on, they talked to me and they sat me down and they were like, "What do you want to like? How can we like help you? Blah blah blah, whatever." And I was like, "Listen, like I'm really burnt out and I just want um, an opportunity to be a sophomore in college." So I was like, "I still want to do this, but like this, I'm not going to be putting in 60 hours a week here anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna be putting in the normal amount of intern hours." And then like because I like had shown that I was able to do so much when I went back to doing like just what was expected of an intern, um, it like they would like come to me and be like, "Oh, you're unreliable. You're not doing as
Mm.
much as you used to." And I'm like,
Right.
"Well, obviously I'm not doing as much as I used to do."
Right.
And it was just kind of like the thing of like it just like as much as it was said that like they wanted the environment to be good for me and like they wanted me to stay till the end of my senior year and everything like that. I was just so burnt out, and like when I was doing what I needed to do to recover from that, it felt like it was held against me. And so, but like I stayed on forever because I loved it. And then it was like the fall of my senior year, and I kind of just like woke up one day and was like, I think I woke up one day and was like, I made a joke about like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm gonna get fired, and then I
Okay.
realized like I was excited about the fact that I was maybe gonna get fired. Um,
Okay.
and I was like, at this point in like my college career, I had so many other opportunities coming at me from a ton of different directions
Right.
that like it kind of felt like I was holding on to this like one internship for the sake of being able to say that I did it for 4 years. Um, like I stuck with it till the end of my college career, And I just kind of like took a step back, and I was like, I shouldn't be excited about maybe getting fired. And I was like, I was like, this is so many people's like dream internships, and like it's not mine anymore. And like I'm getting paid, and there are people that are doing this internship for free, and like my heart's not in it, and I don't have the mental capacity to
Mm.
commit to it anymore, and I don't want to commit to it
Right.
anymore. And so
Right.
I kind of just said that and then I also kind of like looked around and I was like, I love sports. I've never been to a college football game as a student. I've worked every single one
Wow.
up until that point. Um, and so I was like, I kind of just took a step back and I was like, I'm gonna take this time. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna recover from this insane burnout. Like I took like a year ago, I took the LSAT because like I thought I wanted, like I was like, I don't know if I can do this forever. I'm maybe gonna go to law school.
Okay.
Um, and then like I like took that, and then there was a coworker, like a full time staff member who was kind of in a similar situation. He started really young. He committed a lot to it. Got super burnt out. He just like texted me to like make sure that I was okay. And he
Sure.
was like, "Are you okay? Like, just want to make sure you're okay. Like, this seems very unexpected, especially because like we were just talking about X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I just kind of realized that like I was like, I want to go to a football game with my friends, and I want to be a senior in college, and this is my last year, and like I have the rest of my life to work, and I only have 4 years here."
Yeah.
And he told me, he was like, "I think you made the right choice." And so like that like kind of like solidified it for me. But then I kind of had a little crisis. I was like, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to do? I thought I wanted to do sports for so long, and
Right.
now I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. And it was actually the Europe trip that got me to where I'm at now, because the advisor for the Europe trip oversaw the broadcast recruiters that Mizzou brings in, like from the different companies that own the stations across the country. And he was like, you should meet with them.
Okay.
They normally see a lot of like on-air talent, like people that want to report. And he was like, they don't normally see a lot of like videographers, so there will be a lot of opportunity for you there. And I was like, okay. And so like I met with them, and there was this one. She was like, join our talent pool, put the position that you're interested in, and like we'll like it'll help when you're applying, and like it'll help people find you. And then the station that I work for now, they actually reached out to me. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
That's what's up.
and they talked to me about it, and I like got the offer, and I was like, yes, 100%. And like just being in this station now, and like this working environment now, um, it's like it's been great because like people like that, there's not like, at least at my station, and I know that this is not like a universal experience, and this is also like isn't necessarily the same experience from role to role, too. But it's like I go home and I'm home. I don't have to be worrying about work. There's not like something in the back of my mind of like what I need to do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. Like if if my schedule is gonna change, they're gonna let me know like in advance. Um, I'm not expected to do anything other than like what I'm expected to do, and like the I mean like I'm 2 months out of college, and like have
Right.
been in the industry for 2 months, but like from what I noticed, like it like just this type of environment is a healthy one, at least for me. And like I also newsroom videographers, the like I it's not normally like girls and
Women.
women.
Okay.
There is like a couple of other female photographers that I've like seen and like worked with at my station.
Sure.
The most of them are like older men though, but it's also
Hmm.
kind of like refreshing because like some of them have been at the station for 25 years. And like they still think it's the best job in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that like that has been kind of refreshing for me to see that like being in a place that like wants you to still love this in 25 years and not burn you out right away.
Right. No, I totally understand that.
Mhm.
And thank you for that transparency of, breaking that down.
Mhm.
It's an important question to ask. No question about it, because it's real. Burnout is definitely
Mhm.
real. In this, especially in this industry, you can go 100 miles per hour and you can be burnt out.
Mhm.
The pay is little at first. I
Mhm.
mean, damn near close to nothing. And it's just we love doing what we do,
Mhm.
but sometimes I think people really get a, misconception of what we do. People,
Mhm.
see the talent in front of the camera, or see you working in a station
Mhm.
and say you must got it made. That guy that's anchoring or girl that's anchoring got it made, and it's not like that. It's
Mhm.
really not like that. And they don't know that unless they talk to someone, right? Because
Mhm.
people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know all the things you
Yeah.
have to do to prepare yourself to be able to be
Mhm.
that anchor, that reporter, that videographer. And this is why
Mhm.
I create this platform, is that I want people to understand all people kinds of stories. There's all different kinds
Mhm.
of stories and processes to be able to be some of these positions in
Mhm.
communications.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely takes like, especially just like news in general, it it takes a certain type of prep and it takes a certain amount of self-care because like you most of the time like the things that you're seeing like aren't the happiest, aren't the best.
Right.
Um like your day to day could be talking to people like on the worst day of their life. So you kind of have to like take a step back and like take care of yourself like when those hard things happen and you are on those hard stories, and also like a certain level of empathy to like be able to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're talking to and like understand where they're coming from. And like I at least I've noticed it's like it's almost like exposure therapy to like rejection, because you're like walking around and you're like asking people to like talk and like, will you talk to me, will you talk to me, and they're like, no, no, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But it's also like you are asking them like in the midst of like one of the worst things that's ever happened to them. So like you have
Sure.
to like take a step back and like it's not personal, it's not everything like that. Um, but yeah, it is like I don't know. It takes a certain kind of person who's like okay with kind of experiencing like almost like rejection every
Right.
single day, and
Right.
also a person who is willing to like take the steps to like take care of themselves so that they can not be burnt out. Because if you're burnt out and like you get sent to a scene that is like the worst day of someone's life and like you're on your wits end and like you let that show through, then like that's not anyone's goal. It's not helping anyone's situation, that kind of thing.
Right. Absolutely. Which brings a great segue of another question, which is advice. Obviously, being a recent graduate, what is some advice you would give some of the incoming freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and soon to be seniors that want to be in this broadcast journalism space? What kind of advice would you give them?
um I would that is that's a good question.
Yeah.
Advice. Like I would say, kind of going back to like the first question that you asked me, know your why. Know why you want to do like what you're doing. Have a goal
Okay.
for yourself. Like figure out like deep down in your core like what is the reason I'm doing this. And like be able to fall back on that when like the days are rough and the days are difficult. And because like for myself, I'm like, I mean, there's been rough days so far, but then I like kind of take a step back and I'm like, I get to play with cameras and talk to strangers every single day, and that's like all I've ever wanted to do with my life, and I get
Right.
paid to do it.
Right.
So just kind of being able to like level yourself. Um, Also like understand what is worth it and what is not worth it. Like at the end of the day, you are a human being, and like you should not feel horrible about yourself as a human being going to a working environment. Like that's just not worth it. And like there's other ways to do it if that is how you're feeling. Be patient and like say yes to things. Like even if you're like, oh, like because I never thought that I would work in like news or broadcast or anything like that. I thought that I would end up more on like the creative advertising side of things. But I was like, my advisor was like, you should meet with these recruiters, and I was like, yes, and it ended up working out really well for me. So I would say just like don't be afraid to say yes to things. The worst something can do is teach you what you don't want.
Right.
So,
Right.
and like I didn't even think that I wanted to like work in news until I started meeting with these recruiters and hearing about everything that they got to do. And then I would go home and I would like talk about it with my roommates, and they're like, you're excited about something for the first time ever. And I was like, yeah, I am excited about like a potential job, which was really refreshing for me. And then also like kind of like understanding a point, like especially in an industry like this, to get where you want to go, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Um, but like understand when a sacrifice is crossing a line for you personally. Like I was looking into a job opportunity in on the East Coast. And like it was a great job, but that was all that like was there for me was the great job. It wasn't like a place I wanted to go, a place that I was interested in moving, but like the job was there. And then like I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is where I'm going. And then like it kind of got closer to like the end of the semester, and I was like, I like that's too big of a sacrifice for me right now. I'm not ready for that.
Sure.
And like I think like that's okay, like to know that like like it's not a sacrifice that you think you would be happy making. Um, and then also just like I say this to like anyone, like remember that like you're a human being, not a human doing. So like make sure that you
Mm.
you are not the things that you do. Like yeah, I have a really
Okay.
cool job, like I'm not my job. And
Right.
like my job is
Absolutely.
something that like could go away tomorrow. And
Yeah.
it's like, am I okay with who I am and the person that I am if my job were to go away tomorrow? And
Hmm.
like if you're not happy with who you go home to yourself, if you're not happy with who you are at the end of the day, no job, no industry, no amount of like prestige, no amount of bylines, no amount of airtime or anything like that is going to make you a happy person if you're not okay with who you are without it.
I feel that. I feel that. Great advice. Great advice. We have ran into the portion of the podcast now that we're going to play my interactive game called This or That. Now,
Okay.
Riley, this is the game that I play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it is very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Riley,
Okay.
are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go. When it comes to these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather eat at if you had to choose one? Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Girl, you on point like a period. I like that. Here we go. We rocking out right now. Here we go. When it comes to chicken wings, which flavor would you rather put on the chicken wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Probably barbecue.
Okay, I'm about to say, girl, you in Kansas City. I mean, but okay, we're gonna keep it moving.
No.
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Dry with the wet on the side. I like to
Say
be
what?
able to control. I like to be able to both. That's not a this or that. So I guess dry. I like to be able to control the amount of sauce I have on them.
Oh, okay, okay. I feel you on that. Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
I like boneless wings.
Oh, so what do you say to, because you're in the minority right there. And I like
Mm,
boneless wings too. I love more meat. But what do you say when
yeah,
people say boneless wings is nothing more than a chicken nugget? Because a lot of people say that.
I think that's okay.
I love it. I
Chicken
love it.
nuggets come in lots of different shapes. They're dinosaur shaped. They're nugget shaped. So why can't they come chicken wing shaped?
I feel that. And listen, at the end of the day, no matter if they bone in or boneless, we
Mhm.
still gonna eat it, baby, because
Yep.
it's still gonna taste good. There's no question
Hmm.
about it. Okay, I'm with you on that.
Hmm.
These next five questions have to do with music concerts that you rather attend. So here we
Okay.
go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Rihanna or Beyonce?
Rihanna.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs?
Luke Combs. Hands down.
Okay. Okay. All right. Like you some Luke Combs. Okay, I like that.
Hmm.
Which music concert would you rather go see? Jelly Roll or Post Malone?
Post Malone.
Yeah, that's my dude right there. That's my
Hmm.
guy. He's definitely
Yep.
my top five. That's my guy. Which music concert would you rather go see? Casey Musgraves or Carrie Underwood? Ooh, that made you stop and pause for a little bit.
Okay. Casey Musgraves, because she has a lot of songs that remind me of Maya.
Okay. All right.
So,
That was a little difficult for you to decide, though, it seemed like.
but I love Carrie Underwood.
Okay. That's the reason why. Okay, here we go.
Hmm.
So, this last one here. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Lady A or Zach Brown Band?
Zach Brown Band.
Okay. I like that. I like that. That's what's up.
Hmm.
Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Basketball or baseball?
Basketball.
Okay. Do you have a favorite basketball team?
Not particularly, no. But
Okay.
I think that basketball is a more interesting sport to watch on TV than baseball is because baseball's slower.
Very slow, no question. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Badminton or bowling?
Hmm.
Probably bowling, I think.
Are you a good bowler?
No. No, I'm
You,
not.
you didn't even sugarcoat that one bit, Riley. Like,
Oh no, it's like every time my family went bowling, it resulted in like me crying because I'm so bad.
okay, can you at least play Wii bowling?
Yeah. Oh, I was a beast at Wii bowling.
Okay, all right. Well,
I had like the shiny bowling ball, the gold one and everything. So,
okay. Well, yeah, I'm happy to hear that.
mhm.
I'm very happy to hear that. That's for sure. Do you need the bumpers when you play real bowling?
Not anymore.
Oh, well then you good. You all right. You
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to name four categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these categories that you'll never eat again. So here we go.
Okay.
First one is grouped together cake/pies. The second one is ice cream. The third one is cookies. The last one is candy. Which one are you getting rid of?
Probably ice cream.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, what is your favorite cookie?
I love a classic chocolate chip.
Okay. Very basic. I like that.
Hmm.
I like chocolate chip too, but if I'm gonna go a little exotic, I'm gonna say gingerbread.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
classic.
love I love me some gingerbread for sure.
Hmm.
Do you like potato chips?
Yes.
Okay, same format. I'm gonna name four brands. You got to choose one of these to get rid of. So here we go. The first brand is Ruffles. The
Okay.
next brand is Pringles. The next brand is Doritos. The last brand is Lay's. Which one? are you getting rid of?
Probably Lay's because I feel like every Lay's flavor, there's also a Ruffles flavor, and I like the Ridges more.
Yeah, I like Ruffles is definitely my favorite chip. Sour cream and cheddar is my favorite chip of all
Yeah,
time. No question. But I'm gonna ask you, you don't have to pick between the other three. You can pick any chip. What is your favorite chip?
Pringles.
Okay, what's your favorite
Sour
flavor?
cream and onion Pringles.
Okay. Okay.
Or Popcorners.
Pop who?
Popcorners.
Who
It's
is
like
that?
popcorn chips.
Oh, okay. Got you, got you. Say
Hmm.
less. Okay,
Yeah,
got you on that. You did pretty good on this or that. You was very decisive on your
yeah.
answers, and I love that. I love that a lot. So that's what's up. These next question right here, I love asking to all people that's in communications, and that is bucket list. That's what the question is called. Give me a bucket list of top four events.
Um, um, okay. I would love to do a long form story on someone going through the MR 340. If you know what that is.
No, I do not.
It is the longest like kayak river race. It starts in like can't like the it goes across the Missouri River,
Hmm.
MR, and it's 340 miles, 340.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
and people kayak from literally like Kansas City, Kansas. It starts like over there to St. Charles, Missouri.
Okay.
And they kayak 340 miles. I would love to do a like long like documentary style project about a team doing that.
Okay.
Um, I would love to cover like a concert. I would love to take photos at a concert at Red Rocks Pavilion in Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great, great amphitheater, by the way. That place is
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah. Um, what else?
Mm. Would you like to do
Uh,
a sporting event?
yeah, I think that I like being able to cover a Super Bowl or like an NFL game.
Hmm. Yes, I was lucky enough to do the Super Bowl this past year.
That's awesome.
Absolutely amazing in New Orleans.
Hmm.
So if you ever get a chance to go there, it would definitely change your life. There's no question about
Yeah.
it.
And then like I don't know, maybe like an like I would love to be at the results party of the winning presidential candidate and
Okay.
be able to take photos of that.
Okay. I like that, Riley. I like those. I like those events for sure. Have you ever thought about being in front of the camera?
I actually did have a job offer to be an MMJ, so being in front of the camera. Um, I don't think I would enjoy it.
Why you say that?
There's this like I don't I wouldn't want to wake up every day and have to care about what I look like
Okay.
to be able to go in front of a camera. And also, like, I don't want the things I do and like the stories that I tell and like what I use my camera for to be about me.
Sure.
And
I
like,
can
there's a
respect
certain
that.
level like I like being able to like tell stories without someone else guiding it. Like, I think that there's very interesting ways, and like for not for every story, and like broadcast news, like sometimes you have to be so concise with everything
Hmm.
that like sometimes you just need someone to flat out say it and like the reporter to like explain it while using interviews and everything like that. But like I'm the type of person like I want to be able to like be involved in it as little as possible.
Okay. I can respect that. I always love asking people that's behind the scenes, do they ever envision
Hmm.
themselves going in front of it? There's a lot of people that say no because they love to do the behind the scenes
Mhm.
work. They love to be behind it and do that. But there is some people that do yearn to be in front of the camera. So I love to get
Mhm.
that question out there to ask for sure.
Yeah.
What is some advice? We talked about advice you would give someone, but what is some advice someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Um,
I see the wheels turning, Riley. I see the wheels
yeah.
turning.
I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know if this constitutes like as an advice.
Sure.
Um, but me and my mom, we have a matching tattoo of an arrow because growing up, she would always tell me that an arrow can't be shot forward without being pulled back.
Okay.
So when life drags you back with difficulties, it means it's going to launch you into something great.
Wow.
So I like
Okay.
that. Um, and also you don't there's power in knowing when to stop and you don't always need to have the last word.
I love that. I love that. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's what's up. That's some great advice. Absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, I was doing a little bit of research, obviously finding
Mm-hmm.
out where you went to school. But you also won, if I'm not mistaken, a media award, a student media award of the year in 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that was
Mhm.
not a media award. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they when where they have like branches, they'll do a competition called Student of the Year. So they'll take
Yeah, student of the year.
um, yeah, so they'll take high school students who have like a connection to LLS, and kind of they'll form teams. They'll pit all the teams against each other and give
Hmm.
them 7 weeks to raise as much money as they can. My senior year of high school, I ran in honor of Maya, um, and we had a goal of raising $50,000 in the 7 week period because if you raise
Wow.
$50,000, you got to open up a research grant through LLS, and they just started the Children's Initiative. So that was like, because when Maya passed away, she was cancer free. It was the
Right.
side effects of the treatment that ultimately like caused her to pass away,
Hmm.
because they use the same treatments on everyone. Like so, like adults, the treatments that they give adults is the same treatments that they give children. And like
Sure.
you can't do that. Like what an adult's body can withstand is not what a child's body can withstand.
Right.
So the children's initiative was like focused on less funneling money into less harsh treatment options for kids. So we wanted to open up a research grant in Maya's name for that. At the end of the 7 weeks, we not only opened up one research grant, we opened up two. We were able to raise
Hmm.
over $132,000 in the
Wow.
7 week span, which at the time was a record. It's now been broken, but
That's still
yeah.
pretty amazing. Wow,
Hmm.
132,000. And how did that feel winning that award? Being obviously being what, 17, 18 years old at the time?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
doing it for a great cause, obviously, but how
Hmm.
did it feel winning that award and raising that kind of money?
I mean, it was surreal, like just because we didn't see the total. We had an idea of how much we had raised, but we didn't see the total until like the end. Um, and just kind of like seeing that total, like we didn't even the day before the campaign ended, we hadn't even broken 100,000.
Wow. Okay.
So being able to pull that much through, it was surreal and like honestly, like Maya had such a big impact on my life, and like one of her like family's greatest fears is like people are gonna forget her.
Hmm.
So honestly, it was more rewarding to like be able to see not only like all that money could do for LLS, but like just like how much her family appreciated that like someone other than them was like carrying on the legacy of their daughter, and like the number of people that rallied around and supported, like that was honestly incredible. And like people like it wasn't just like I was the candidate, I was the one that ran, but it wasn't just me that did it. So it was really, and like I found out like in front of like my friends and my family and everything like that. So being able to share that moment with the people that helped me get there, that was truly incredible.
That's awesome. There really is.
Hmm.
And this has been a really dope conversation. Just talking to you
Hmm.
about your why, growing up in Ohio, but not only that, but going to the University of Missouri, being able to graduate from there, now being a videographer, talking about Maya's legacy and
Hmm.
impact that has had on your life, and just being able to do incredible stories, and have that selflessness to you. That's what I really appreciate. I really
Hmm.
appreciate the selflessness that you exhibit. It's not about you, it's about the stories, it's about everybody else. And, even when you're paying it forward, it's still not about you, it's about everybody else. And that's amazing. It's amazing to have that kind of mindset, mentality. I'm definitely a new fan of yours. I will
Thank you.
continue to look at some of your work. I'm sure everybody that knows you and knows of your work says that you're absolutely amazing. So I know I'm not breaking news there. So I just want to say thank you again, Riley, for coming on to my podcast and
Mhm.
being able to share your story and share your why and talk to me a little bit. My final question to you is there
Mhm.
anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
I don't, not that I can think of.
Hmm,
Just that it's okay to not, it's okay to enjoy your job and like what you're doing, even if it's not your end goal.
right.
It's about the journey, not about the destination. So I'd say that. But yeah.
Okay. Well said. I want you to enjoy your Thursday evening, our last day of July before we enter August tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I want you to
Yes.
enjoy your weekend as well. You and I will definitely stay in touch and be in
Mhm.
touch.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.